Hi, everybody. My name is Gus Farwell. It's good to see you. Over here is my lovely wife, Claire, who just flew in from Spain. So it's amazing that she's up and looking lovely as ever. Good to see all you guys. Just wanted to let you all know that we'll be doing a performance at ASU Gammage this Friday at 7:30 p.m. Amazingly, we are going to have a tailgate, which is going to start at 6 p.m. We are going to tailgate Gammage. It's going to be incredible. It was incredible. That the response from Gammage was actually way more positive than I thought, and they loved the idea. So this is great. They like the idea of doing that and getting some people into the theater who might not been there before. So. We're really excited, and it's going to be something special. Rehearsals have already begun. I just left one right now, and ASU Symphony Orchestra will be involved, ASU Gospel Choir as well, and a couple other surprises here and there. There will be some special members of the '96 team that will be in attendance. My old roommate Jake Plummer. Will be there for sure, and a couple other great players from the '96 team. The total keeps rising, and they're going to have their own little special section to sit there in the theater. May or may not come up on stage, we'll see. But there will be a special tribute that will happen in the concert that I'm really looking forward to. So.
Hey guys, Chris Cartman, Center Source.
Chris.
What is it like emotionally for you? Kind of the whole trajectory of being a Sun Devil and then this opportunity and everybody coming out to support you.
It's something else. It's a dream 26 years in the making. So I used to sneak into Gammage when I was a freshman as a theater major here playing football, and I used to go in through I probably shouldn't say how I got in there. But I got in there, right? Yeah. But I got in nonetheless, and I used to sneak in there and go out there on that, beautiful stage, and usually in the dark, just with a little ghost light there on the stage, and would just stare up at that incredible theater, that beautiful theater, and just say, one day I'm going to be on this stage performing, and to be perfectly frank, that dream took a real right turn. And, just talking to Coach Iguano outside and talking about how after the '97 Rose Bowl, 10 days later, my best friend was killed in a car wreck with her dad and her 14-year-old brother on the 5th year anniversary, same day that my father had died of pancreatic cancer my freshman year of high school. So I came back to ASU ready to fight for my position. Roommates with Jake. I wanted to take over the team for him, and I got back. I flew in. I got to our house. I called home, and my brother answered the phone. He said, "I think you better sit down." And I found out that news, and that just devastated me, and it really took my course sort of in a different direction. Came out for spring ball. I had no fight. It was really tough. I went home for the summer, which Coach Iguana and I were just laughing at, like, if you're competing for a position, you don't go home for the summer, you stay here. And then I just sort of I drove back from Northern California 12 hours, cried almost the whole way, and pulled into a parking lot, called my brother on a payphone and said, "Hey, I don't think I want to play football anymore." And he said, "Man, I'll back you. That's what you want to do, I'll back you." And so it was tough. It was tough for a long time. Walking away from everything that I wanted to do here and accomplish here. I'll be frank, it was really tough in the beginning for me to come back after I walked away. Now, it's incredible. It's incredible to come back here and to be here in front of you guys in this room, to be here with the incredible people of this university, to be welcomed back with such open arms, and to have the opportunity. I've been talking with my wife about just singing and there's always pressure in performance, right? Like there's always like, okay, I just want to deliver. I just want to, you just want to sing well. I know what I can do. I just want to sing well. And, she keeps telling me, just enjoy every second of it. It's an opportunity, who knows what happens in the future. Will I ever get it to be on that stage again? I don't know. But I've just here for a long time throughout my career, I've always thought about what's next. I'm overthinking about what's next. I just want to concentrate on being here, being present. And after everything that happened in the pandemic and how I ended up here to begin with, to be there in that special place with everybody together, we forget that it wasn't that long ago that we were all separated and forced into lockdowns and restrictions and mandates, and we had a curfew for 9 months in Spain. We forgot we couldn't even be out after 10 p.m. in Spain for 9 months. It's pretty. Yeah, we couldn't go clubbing anymore, which is where we met 20 years ago. So it was a real detriment to us in our Spanish life. But it's just to be together with everybody there in that room. It's going to be something special.
Michelle Gardner, Arizona Republic.
Hi, Michelle.
You guys.
Yeah.
Now that you're doing TV commentary, like with the Pac-12 network, that's kind of like performing too. So do you find that there's similarities in those two things that you're now doing?
Yeah, it's pretty funny, really. It sort of hit me almost halfway through. It didn't really hit me until I started to do it, and then I realized that as much of there's the analytical side and the understanding of football side, but then there's also the entertainment side. It's a show. Every time you turn on the television, you want to see a good program. It's not just about the sport on the field. It's also about all the other things going on. And I realized it sort of hit me, and I said, maybe I've been training to do this all my life, with the living in the two worlds of performance. And, I've been on plenty of stages, been in front of plenty of cameras. I flash back, I see these cameras set up like this. I think back to the 96, to the Rose Bowl, when we went to Universal Studios, and on the Wednesday at the end of practice, coach said, hey, there's going to be a talent show tomorrow. And I went out the next day, as only a 19-year-old kid could, with all due respect to all 19-year-olds here, went out and sang Ridi Pagliacci at the talent show. That was the first time that I'd ever sung opera in public. And so, the performance side, the football side, it's great to be able to sort of live in both worlds. And it's an honor to be on the Pac-12 network and to have that opportunity as well. And the fact that all of this has come out of the pandemic is doubly strange, Yeah, it's something else. Yeah. Hey, Michael. So I never actually snuck into a show. I snuck into the back of Phantom of the Opera. I walked around and looked at all the props and this, that, and the other, and I never actually snuck in and sat down and watched the show. I've always had this thing, and this might sound strange, but I've never really liked concerts myself, because I think I've always had this thing where I wanted to be on stage. I remember there was one in particular where I went and saw Dave Matthews at what was then Pac Bell Park. I'm not sure what it's called now in San Francisco. And I was watching the concert, and everybody was having a good time. And I went and I snuck back around through security, and I actually sat in the bleachers behind the stage and watched the audience rather than actually watch the show. I know it's a weird thing. It's a performer's thing, I think. I think that was a young me as well, though, where it's like, I just want it to be me. I want to be up there. I want to show what I can do. Now I really enjoy concerts now, it's a little different. So, anybody else?
Anything else? Pretty good? I'll go.
Yeah.
Hey guys, Jack.
I have no recollection, Senator. It might have been. It might have been. Unofficially, it might have been me and the Batman. Yeah, unavailable for comment for sure.
Jack Loader, Devil's Digest. What kind of crossover are you hoping to see in terms of audience? It's probably going to be pretty like non-traditional opera audience on Friday night? Are you hoping to see a lot of players from this team, and how much is this kind of crossover going to make for those guys?
Yeah, I hope I know it's Friday night. It's the night before the game, so it's always going to be difficult, I think, for the players to get there. I think there's going to be some there potentially. But as far as the audience is concerned, I've always wanted to be sort of a gateway drug to opera for people. Does that make sense? Like, it was, I've always sung crossover. I always think that the concert itself will be a mix of American standards, maybe some Billy Joel in there, and then we'll get into some of the big fireworks stuff of opera. But I like being that entry point because I think there's so much in the opera world and the classical world that can be so standoffish. It can be so sort of, oh, I don't belong here. And that's not really truly what opera was originally written for the masses. It wasn't this sort of like nose up in the air, ultra. In fact, it was looked down upon for a very long time, almost like in the heyday or the beginning of when they started to make motion pictures and movies and things. That was sort of looked down upon as well. And so to be able to do that and to get people in, and a couple of weeks ago I was here for one of the games at one of the tailgates, and someone came up to me and said, "Hey, I can't wait to go to your concert. It's the first time I've ever been to Gammage." And I said, that is really what makes me happy. That's the kind of thing. Get people in there, get kids in there. I hope people bring their families. It'll be a great concert for kids as well. And sometimes I did a concert up in Northern California years ago, and a family came up to me afterwards, and I had a 16-year-old daughter who loved to sing and wanted to be a singer, and from that concert, she said that she wanted to explore opera and maybe sing opera, and that's what I really love to do more than anything else, because it's not this exclusive group or area or art form that is not for everybody. It is for everybody, and it speaks like all music to the soul, and that's why I love to perform it and get as many people to see it as possible.